Okay, hi, we're back. Let's talk about a second example of correcting a run-on sentence. So, if you look back at our handout that we were using, we have number 2. My cat was upset all day. He didn't get canned food for breakfast. So, we want to do our first step, the first step of analyzing a group of words. We want to find all the subjects and predicates, and we want to make sure we found them all by looking for all the nouns and pronouns. All right, so looking at this group of words, I find some subjects and predicates. Remember, subject is who or what is doing something. The predicate is what the subject's doing. So I see my cat was. Cat is a subject and was is the predicate. My cat was. I can also see he didn't get. That's a subject and a predicate. Actually, the predicate is did get. The not part is not part of the verb. It's an adverb modifying the verb. But I still have a subject and a predicate. He did get. So I found 2 subjects and predicates in that sentence. Cat was and he did get. Now, to make sure I found all the subjects and predicates, I want to look at all the other nouns or pronouns and see if they're doing something. So I see day. Day is a noun, but in this sentence it's not a subject because it's not doing anything. Okay, I also see food. Food is a noun, but in this sentence it's not a subject because it's not doing anything. The food what? Didn't do anything. I see breakfast. Breakfast is a noun, but in this sentence it's not a subject because it's not doing anything. Okay, so we found all the subjects and predicates. So we have 2 subjects and predicates. 1, 2. That means we're going to have 2 clauses because a clause is a group of words with a subject and a predicate. So let's figure out what are the words that make up the first clause. What's the first group of words with a subject and predicate? And we see, my cat was upset all day. My cat was upset all day. That's a group of words with a subject and a predicate. So it's a clause. What we want to know now is it a main clause or is it a subordinate clause? So we can complete our second step. We found our subjects and predicates. Now we want to look at our clauses and see if they're main or subordinate. So, my cat was upset all day. Main clause or subordinate? It can be a sentence all by itself. So it's a main clause. What if I said, although my cat was upset all day, what? Or, because my cat was upset all day, what? Or, when my cat was upset all day, what? Those would not be main clauses. Those would be subordinate clauses because they couldn't be sentences by themselves. But this, my cat was upset all day, that's a main clause. So I'm going to underline it to show that it's a main clause. So, my cat was upset all day. I underlined it. That's a group of words with a subject and predicate. It can be a sentence all by itself, so it's a main clause. And in this class, we use the practice of underlining main clauses to show that they're main clauses. Okay, the next group of words with a subject and predicate is he didn't get canned food. He didn't get canned food for breakfast. So there's a group of words with a subject and a predicate. So it's a clause. We just want to know if it's a main clause or a subordinate clause. So it can be a sentence all by itself. He didn't get canned food for breakfast. So it's a main clause. What if it said, because he didn't get canned food for breakfast, what? Or when he didn't get canned food for breakfast, what? Those wouldn't be main clauses. Those would be subordinate clauses because they couldn't be sentences all by themselves. But here we have a main clause. I'm going to show it's a main clause by underlining it. So I have, my cat was upset all day. That's a main clause. He didn't get canned food for breakfast. That's a main clause. And look what we have. We have a main clause and a main clause. And what's in between them? A comma. So we didn't have any of these. We didn't just have one main clause or two main clauses joined by a coordinating conjunction or a subordinate clause and a main clause. What we have is this. Two main clauses, right? Two main clauses, and the only thing that's in between them is a comma. So that's a run-on sentence. It's the kind of run-on sentence called a comma splice. So since we have a run-on sentence, we have some choices about how to fix it. We could put a semicolon in between them, or we could put a comma and a fanboy, if it makes sense, or we could end the first sentence and start the second sentence. So let's try this third choice there. Let's end the first clause with a period. My cat was upset all day, period. And then start the second clause as a separate sentence. So capitalize he. So we have, my cat was upset all day, period. He, capital H, separate sentence, he didn't get canned food for breakfast. Now it's not a run-on sentence anymore. It's two separate sentences. So we corrected the run-on. Okay? Sorry, I keep yawning. It's past my bedtime. All right, I'm going to end this video here, and then we will try another example in the next video. All right.